How many times have you wanted something so bad? You thought about it, you worked hard for it, you trained for it even. And even though physically you may have been ready, something happened and you fell apart. We're going to talk about that today. There was the show that we were watching last night when we were eating dinner. Some of you may have seen it before, American Ninja Warrior. Now, what does American Ninja Warrior have to do with real estate or business or coaching or any of that stuff? Well, let me tell you. We were sitting there and they had a lot of people on there who had competed in the past and done really well. And there was this one guy in particular, and I don't even remember his name, but he had been there for like 15 seasons. And every time he got to the obstacle that had to do with balance, he blew it. He fell apart. They even showed footage of him over the years doing great up until he got to the balance obstacle. Whether it was like last night, I think it was dominoes or something, where you had to like walk across all these little things that moved. It's like a break went on in his brain. It was just like the most weird thing, because they showed all this footage, and there was one year that he went across the balance obstacle and he broke his leg. And then there was another year that he went across the balance obstacle and fell and broke his ribs. And then last night he went across the balance obstacle and basically broke his ass because he landed right on his tailbone, and I know that had to hurt. And what was so sad and moving about the whole thing was they interviewed him afterwards, and they said, reminded him of all the times that he had tried this balance obstacle and failed. And he starts crying. And in the end, after a couple more questions, they asked him, he said, "Are you going to come back and do this again next year?" And he said, "You know what? I don't know." He said, "The trauma of the past, I just can't seem to get past it." And isn't that true? I mean, how many times have we had something that we worked hard for, we believed in, we knew that we were capable of it, and just something keeps us from doing it? We don't quite execute. We fall on our ass, basically. So that's kind of, I thought, how appropriate that there's some things that I've done over the years, and y'all know my story. I mean, my bankruptcy killed me. I'm still here breathing, yes, but and maybe still to a point do, I'll be honest with you. That was a major failure for me. And I've played safe ever since then. And safe is not going to get me where I want to be. And it's not going to get you where you want to be. We can have all the good intentions in the world, but unless we get to the root of what is causing that trauma, that block, that thing that is keeping us off balance, it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away on its own, because let's face it, your brain's job is to keep you safe. It doesn't want you going outside of your cave. It doesn't want you going after the man-eating tigers that it was designed for. It wants to keep you safe. And yay, to a point that works, but it also keeps you from having the things that you truly want. That guy wanted to go on in the competition. 15 years, 15 seasons, he's been doing that. And every time he got to the same obstacle, you could see it in his eyes when he started out last night. He was hoping that he'd get through it this time. He didn't know that he was going to get through it. He wasn't telling himself, I'm nailing this time. He was hoping not to fail. And when we hope not to fail, we already have. Think about it. If you're playing not to lose, you've already lost, because you're not going to put 100 or 110%. I mean, I know we hear that a lot. We're not going to put everything, all of us, into an effort if we really don't think we're going to make it. So it has been and has become my mission to help you and help myself at the same time get past those blocks, get past that imbalance, get past the stuff from the past that's holding you back, that's keeping you from being everything that God made you to be, quite honestly. If you're not playing to win, then you're playing not to lose, and that's nowhere to be. So, all that being said is, today, go out and don't look at the obstacle as an obstacle. Look at it as a challenge. Look at it as something to overcome, something to celebrate once you get past. Because when you give it your all, you will. You're not going to break anything. You're not going to die. It may be uncomfortable. And think about it. See it in your mind, that vision at the end, you celebrating that victory, whatever it is. In my world, it's helping people sell their home, helping people buy a new home, helping investors. My goal this year is to add to my own stuff, get more rentals, help more people. So that's just my little 2 cents for today. So don't let the obstacle stop you. Physically, they may be challenging, but they're even a bigger challenge if in your mind they can't be overcome. Anything can be overcome if you believe it, if you put the work in to it, and if you go for it. So, hope y'all have a great one. Love you bunches, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.